Okay, let me check who are the people are in. Okay, Anil, Banu, and Kesekar, Vishal. That's fine. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. This is Ashok, your SAP Ariba trainer. Welcome to the demo session on Ariba. So let's see the agenda. What we going to do in this maybe 45 minutes or 1 hour session. Okay, we'll go with the quick round of introduction, and we will learn about ourselves, so that I would get some understanding, like what's your background and what's your knowledge on Ariba or something like related products. So where you are coming from, what's your background and all. Okay, let me first introduce myself. Myself Ashok. I am the Ariba trainer for you. I have total 15 years of experience in SAP world. I can say I worked on different models like metals management and bit of warehouse, and then supply relationship management, and then more predominantly into Ariba side. Almost from past 8 to 9 years, I was into Ariba. I come up with a lot of implementation and support experience from end-to-end project handling. Okay. So can we go with a quick roundtable? So can I go with Anil?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello, are audible to my voice?
Yes, yes, Anil, I can hear you. Yeah.
My name is Anil. I am from Hyderabad.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, hello.
Yeah, yes, yes, we can hear you, Anil. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I am
what's your
working as a
background
Simply
like?
Global.
Uh-huh. No,
I don't
what's your
middle with
background
SAP.
like? You are from okay.
My background is a financial analyst.
Financial analyst. Okay, you are from finance background. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Okay. So do you have any exposure towards the procurement or something like that?
No, no, I don't have any knowledge about SAP Ariba. Actually, my friend told that. That's why I attend the
No,
class.
no, no. I'm just asking like any procurement apart from your
No, no,
finance
no, no.
side, right? Okay,
No, I
okay, no
don't have
worries,
any
no
idea
worries.
that one. No,
No
no.
problem, no problem. And then we can go with the Banu. Thanks, Anil. Thanks for your intro. Banu, you there? You can unmute yourself. Yeah,
Yes, yes, Ashok.
yeah.
Hi, Ashok. Glad to meet you. Okay, I'm already working in Ariba. I have some
Mm-hmm.
knowledge in upstream. So
Okay.
currently, I am in a procurement project. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't have any idea about P2P. So
Okay.
that's why I
Mm-hmm.
just joined.
Welcome to Locker Bluetooth mode.
Sorry.
No, I'm not. Anil is unmuted actually.
Maybe can guys, Subbu and Anil, we can go on mute. Let me mute. Okay. You guys.
Yes, yes, Ashok.
Yeah.
That's all for
Yeah.
myself.
No problem. Thanks, Banu, for your intro. And then we have Vishal.
Hello.
Yeah, Vishal. Yeah.
Yeah, myself Vishal. I'm from Pune in Maharashtra, and I
Mm-hmm.
have total years of experience in 4 years, 4 plus in SAP MM. Just now,
Okay.
I'm currently working in a TCS, and
Mm-hmm.
currently working at TCS and Ariba P2P projects. Just my
Oh,
role is
good.
responsibility. Yeah.
Fantastic. And then we have Shubham Kiskar.
Hi Ashok, my name is Shubham.
Mm-hmm.
I am having 3 years experience in material management, and right now I
Mm-hmm.
am in MDG project in Genpact. So
Okay.
just for exploring my knowledge and for a future scope, I am joining this session. Okay, thanks.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining, and a warm welcome to all of you. And so the agenda goes like, with the intro already we done, and then what's Ariba and what are the Ariba modules and the portfolio, and the underneath we are talking about the course content while explaining about the Ariba. So we go with the course content as well, what we would be discussing in our daily classes and what is the duration of the course. So all these things we would be discussing in the session. Okay, I don't know how many of you know Ariba, some might you have heard something called Ariba. Okay, so Ariba is basically a procurement tool which is very capable in doing the indirect procurement on the standalone point of view, and we can have direct procurement which is integrated with the any of your ERP system. So don't get worry when I say indirect procurement and direct procurement. We will be shortly seeing what is indirect procurement and what is a direct procurement. So it's our I can say it's kind of respect to Ariba when we are talking about Ariba, like to know about the history of Ariba. So when Ariba got founded and when it came into picture in 1996, Ariba got, it's founded in 1996, and from there it started as some small procurement solution and slowly start evolving and evolving. And I think before from 2010 it is completely acquired by SAP. Now we are calling it as SAP Ariba. The tool we are calling it as SAP Ariba. So it's a kind of cloud product. So we have the on-premise product and as well as cloud product. So what do you mean by on-premise and what do you mean by cloud product? In the sense, cloud product in the sense we are not maintaining the servers in our under our control. Suppose if you are working for a company called IBM or TCS, you can have your own server. On the server you install the Ariba and you will start using that application. That we are calling it as the on-premise. On cloud in the sense the server is being maintained by someone and they will give some instance, some kind of URL, and you keep doing all the things in your own. That we are calling it as cloud. Okay, so the actual server database, everything is not in our local servers. That is being handled by someone, that is by SAP Ariba. So that's why we are calling it as a cloud product. So nowadays many of the customers are using only the cloud product, not the on-premise. Previously we used to have the on-premise product, like we install it on our local servers and then we use it for our purpose, all the database, all the release migrations, each and everything we used to do in our day-to-day line in the tool lifecycle management. But now it's completely with cloud application. So the cloud provider here, the cloud provider is SAP Ariba. So they have installed all the servers there itself. They are maintaining somewhere, we don't know where the location and all. They just give one URL and you do your administration things and all the stuff on the URL itself. Okay, so this is what the Ariba history. Okay, so then coming to that, what is actually Ariba? So what it will do, why people are saying Ariba and all, so that we will come to this. Okay, I don't know how many of you know what is a procurement process. Okay, anybody knows what is a procurement process? So I think people who are from SAP background or some kind of ERP background, they know what is a procurement process. But the people who are not aware of the procurement process, I will just give a simple example. So suppose if you want to buy something for your home, okay, you will do a kind of procurement process unknowingly. Okay, suppose if you want to buy rice bag for your home need, what you will do, you will just take the need first. Okay, someone in the home should tell, or you yourself will come to know that, hey, the rice is going to be exhausted, we are going to that the whatever the rice, existing rice is there, that will be over, so I need to get a rice bag, right? So that is where the need will come based on the requirement, based on the need. That's we are calling it as the need. Okay, so the need is so many times. So sometimes you need to buy a refrigerator. Suppose last summer it was very too much high temperature and you need to buy a AC. So the need has come in different ways, because of the need, because of the situation, circumstances, or the whatever the requirement for your comfort purpose, or for your to increase your revenue purpose, whatever it is. Okay, suppose let us say daily you are going by public transport, that is making a lot of time waste and then you are not at all comfortable. Then what you will do, you will invest for a 70,000, or now it is 1 lakh, you will invest for a two-wheeler, right? So on how the two-wheeler need has come, that is based on your pain points, or based on to save something, or to increase your productivity, or whatever it is. Okay, so then the need will come. So once the need will come, suppose you have decided to buy a two-wheeler, so immediately we'll buy the two-wheeler, just go to some shop and then, hey, give me one two-wheeler, you will do like that? No. First you will think of the budget. Hey, how much budget I should go, and then you will think of whether I should go for a gear vehicle or a non-gear vehicle. I should go for Activa, Jupiter, like different brands. I should go for Honda, TVS, or I should go for a Royal Enfield. So what actually to meet my purpose? Okay, everything comes with the budget. In fact, okay, then you will decide and select. Hey, based on lot of analysis you do, right? Okay, to buy the bike to your two-wheeler, then you finalize. Yeah, then okay, I will go with Honda Activa. It is giving a lot of facilities for me, lot of, even if I am not there, my wife also can use it. Okay, and the budget is also within my range. I can't go for Royal Enfield, because Royal Enfield is heavy, the mileage is less, like that. All the parameters you will think of it, and then you will decide to buy it from a particular person. That person we are calling it as a supplier or vendor. Here we are not calling it in our real time scenario. We won't make this terms called supplier or vendor, because that is not our continuous business with him. Okay, every day every month you won't buy the bike, right? So once in a while you go for it. Okay, this is a kind of a special procurement, I can say. Okay, you are preparing. Suppose you want to buy your rice bag. So rice bag is your every month need. So every month need, obviously you will identify a supplier. You will see a vendor, a departmental store from where you can do and buy. So that is your, the frequency of your requirement consumption is more. That's why you want to buy the rice from the shop. Okay, this is where the person who is buying, we are calling it as the buyer. The person who is selling, we are calling him as a supplier or the vendor. Okay, suppose I am the person, I want to buy. Now I will be the buyer. From whom I am buying? From my departmental store or from a vendor nearby it, then we are calling it as a supplier. Let us say in day-to-day life you might ordering your water bubbles, 20-liter water bubbles from different, either Bibo or Bisler or something. So Bisler or Bibo is your supplier, and you are the customer for them, and you are the buyer, and Bibo is the supplier who will be supplying the water cans for you. Okay, so this is all your, this is the kind of the procurement. Okay, in day-to-day life it gets involved. So once the water can guy supplies the can, obviously what he demands it, he demands for money. Okay, the payment, that we are calling it as a invoice. In our corporate culture, we take the invoice, a document, invoice document, against the invoice document we pay the payment. This is the typical P2P cycle. P2P in the sense procure to pay cycle. Every day in every person's life it is involved, but we don't know, we never realize that, hey, this is the one kind of a business process. We are calling it as typically P2P, procure to pay process. Okay, in the procure to pay process, now I told, right, we are coming with a need, how the need is getting generated, who creates the need. In a corporate culture, the need might be coming from different departments. Okay, suppose I need a stationery, a department from HR, they will raise, they want some bundles of white papers, and similarly the person in the administration department, they need some papers, like that. From different departments the requirement would be coming. If it is a single, like simple home, we can manage it with some kind of Excel sheet, right? Everything. Okay, but whereas in the concept of a corporate culture, we cannot manage with simple thing. You need a tool to raise the requirements, and the requirement should be monitored by someone, and those people will take action on that need. Hey, this people want these many papers, this is the requirement had come. Will check in their store whether these papers are there or not. If the papers are not there, then they will order it from a supplier, and the supplier will give back them, and we will pay to the supplier through invoice. So this is a kind of procurement process. Okay, so now I just introduced something called procurement process, right? Okay, so the tool in which all you are doing, typically we call it as a ERP tool. Okay, so we are calling it as a ERP tool. ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning tool. Okay, right now I am just opening my Excel sheet. Let me know whether you guys can see this or not. Can someone confirm whether they can see an Excel sheet? Sorry. I thought of opening an Excel sheet, but somehow I opened the under document. No problem. Right click and then open the Microsoft Excel worksheet and then okay. Okay. So now let me tell something called ERP. ERP is nothing but enterprise resource planning. Okay. So what is enterprise resource planning? So what do you mean by resources? Okay, enterprise in the sense, let us take a company. In the company, there are few resources. What are the resources? Typically, we are calling it as three M's. But these are the resources. The first resource is money, your capital, or whatever the money that is flowing around the corporate. And second one is the manpower, like the employees in the organization in enterprise. And the third one is your materials. Okay, so materials in the sense I just now told, right? Papers is one kind of material, and similarly you want some pens, or similarly you want some chairs, tables, your laptops. All this comes under your materials. Okay, any enterprise will have these three resources: money, manpower, and materials. So how effectively the enterprise is organizing these three, ultimately they will reach out to the perfect revenue, or they can see what's happening in their organization, what's happening to the money, what's happening to the manpower, what's happening to the materials, all these things. Okay, end of the day, how you can see, there should be a proper reporting, right? So how you can make the reporting? The reporting can be made on a data. Without data you cannot do the reporting. So whatever the day to day transactions you are making, you can do the reporting. Suppose let us say you have a bank, everyone has a bank account, you might have your mobile banking. uh, from past 1 month, what are the transactions I have done? Okay, so my saving account, there should be some 1 lakh rupees. Today there is only 25,000. What happened to the 75,000? Where did I utilize it, this money? Where this money has consumed? So if you want to check that, what you will do, you will report it. You will take your statement. The statement is nothing but your report, right? Then you will see like, hey, what happened? How many withdrawals I have made? How many things I have made? All these things you will see. And then with the same data, if you have any credit card, the credit card people are very intelligent. They will show you like for how much you have spent for food, for how much you have spent for your fuel, for how much you are spending for your clothes. Like that they will create one kind of dashboard, some user likely, or some great dashboard kind of thing. Okay. uh, so that is how it is coming. The same data they're arranging and they're classifying based on the spend, right? Then they're creating it. How that is coming? Whatever the transactions you have done, based on those transactions they are able to classify it, and they are able to generate the report. Now I am the credit card user. End of the day, I have seen my credit card report, and finally I understood that, hey, for food I am spending more, or for fuel I am spending more, or for some miscellaneous I am spending more. Then I will manage my money in an effective way by seeing this spend analytic report or spend report. How best I can decrease my whatever say the spend expenses and increase my savings. Or how effectively, suppose let us say I am using my credit card for fuel. Suppose if I use some HP coral card, the same credit card, if I go to HP petrol bunk, I would be getting a 5% discount, right? So if I take 1,000 rupees, then I would be getting some 50 rupees discount. That is my 5% discount. That means I am getting a benefit over there, right? So all these things, how it will come? So based on the transactions what you made, on that, if you make the proper reporting and you analyze the spend or transactions, thereby you will come with the decisions. Okay, in the similar, in the organizations also they will see. Okay, so suppose in your company there will be some suddenly an HR policy. How that HR policy is coming? Why that HR policy is coming is maybe because of the employees. They will do some reporting on the employees. Suppose they will check how the work life balance is going on in the company. They will send a survey, and then you fill the survey, and they will report on it. So end of the day, the ultimate is on the enterprise resource planning, whatever the transactions you are making in this tool, they will do a reporting. That report will be done for the analytics, and based on the analytics, they will come to a decision. So now for any corporate, for any business, we need a enterprise resource planning tool. The enterprise resource planning tool could be an Excel sheet. Even for your simple family, let us say my family is my enterprise, I can make a simple Excel sheet. I will make my simple sheet with all the expenses, whatever it is monthly incoming, whatever the monthly outgoing, what is my children's school fee, what is my daily expenses, what is my transportation cost, what is my maintenance cost, everything I will plan it in my Excel sheet. That is nothing but an again an ERP tool, I can say. Okay, but ultimately that would not serve my for a company like big companies, right? They have a lot of entities, they have a lot of manpower, they have a lot of money, they have a lot of materials. So in a robustic view, and a simple Excel sheet will not make it easy. The life is not easier, and lot of transactions you have to manually post, and where to store all these things comes into picture. So then so many companies have started creating this enterprise tools. In that, SAP is one of the enterprise tool. Okay, and simply you might have heard something called Oracle, you might have something called PeopleSoft. All these are ERP tools. Okay, so now you might have understand what do you mean by ERP tool. Those who already on the working on SAP and all, they might have known all this stuff, but don't get bored. Okay, we will jump into Ariba pretty quick. Okay, I just want to give something background what is an ERP, those people who are not aware of what is ERP. Okay, so in the ERP, we will manage the money, we will manage the manpower, we will do the material. So everything will be done in a proper way. So whatever the transaction, suppose a new employee gets joined. Okay, we are making an employee record, and what's the salary, when did he join, what is his date of birth, what is the benefits he is supposed to get. All these things will be there in, we are calling that particular module as a human capital management or HR module. Okay, suppose how much material is there for today, how much we are consuming it. Okay, how much we need to procure. Okay, how much we need for my future business or for my company services, or to maintain my company. All these things we are calling it as simply procurement. Okay, this is nothing but procurement and inventory management. This we are typically calling it as material management. Okay, let us say I am the Tata Motors. I am manufacturing these cars. What I have to do ultimately, I have to sell my product. How I am going to sell the product, what are my different distribution locations. Okay, what is my finished cost of each car. Okay, what are my customers, who are all my customers, how I can do. This is everything will be done through the SD module. We are calling it as sales and distribution. Okay, and we have something called manufacturing. So how to manufacture. Okay, what are the different sequence of operations are involved. Okay, suppose how many cars I should manufacture. Okay, on which plant these are manufacturing. All these things will come under production planning. Okay, and the main important module is everything is related to the finance. We are calling it as finance module. Okay, these are the modules typically any ERP will have. Okay, in the market, some ERPs are popular for HCM. Like if you take PeopleSoft is very popular for your human capital management, though it has all other modules also, but it is not well popular. Finance. Okay, in finance you might have heard something word called Tally. Tally is for small business. That is a very good application. Okay, and similarly Oracle is a very strong competitor of SAP. They come up with all these modules. Okay, the beauty of SAP is all these standard modules are well integrated. They are integrated, well integrated. Okay, so now there are few applications or modules which are standalone for some particular modules. As I said, okay, HCM is standalone for PeopleSoft. Okay, you might have something called Success Factors or Workday. Okay, this is very much popular for your HR operations. Okay, HCM. Okay, you might be in your company also, you might be seeing some of your HC like Great HR, some of the tools. Those are very popular for HCM, for human capital management. Okay, for your reporting structure, for the employee records, for the employee benefits, and as well as for the employee life cycle. They want to manage the employee life cycle, everything they can see it in the HR module. We are calling it those modules as specific standalone modules. Okay, so similarly for procurement, Ariba is one of the standalone module. Ariba is a standalone module previously. Now we are integrating that with the SAP. So now it is coming as a solution with SAP. Now SAP S4, if you want to migrate or if you want to buy SAP S4, then SAP is selling success factors and Ariba along with its package. Okay, so that they can use for their procurement purposes. This is the history of Ariba, and then why Ariba is required. So what is the necessity of Ariba, where the Ariba is coming into picture in a organization. Okay, so as I just now told, right, in the procurement applications, Ariba is coming into picture. So what is the procurement cycle? I just explained. Whenever the need rises, how you are handling the need. Okay, so for your internal customers, how you are procuring the goods from the outside, and how you are settling the amount to the supplier. This is what your end-to-end procurement cycle. Okay, so in this procurement cycle, so whenever the need comes, okay, once you come the need. So suppose I want to buy the laptop is my need. Then what I would do? Okay, then I will evaluate and analyze my need, and then I will try to find out which supplier or which brand is good. That we are calling it as the evaluation and selection of the supplier. Okay, once I'm done with the supplier, what I would do is I can buy from him by raising a purchase order. Okay, don't get confused with the word when I use some technical words. Just remember, in our course, we will come, you will be well versed with all these terminologies also. Okay, so whether I would be directly buying from that supplier the laptop, or suppose from an organization, whenever my new employee joins, then only I will order the laptop from the particular supplier. Suppose every month I'm expecting like 50 to 60 employees would join. Why should I buy 50 to 60 laptops prior now? Suppose the person who is joining after 3 months, why should I buy a laptop now? Okay, why should I waste money now? I can use this money for some other purpose. So I should not kill the rotation. I can use it for some other purpose, right? So now, let us say my employee is joining next week. If the laptop is coming today, Monday is joining. If the laptop is coming today, and I can give it to the IT team tomorrow, and they can configure the laptop within a day. Okay. So then what I would do, I will make a contract with my supplier. Hey, I will order on this day. I will order on maybe Wednesday or something. Then you need to supply my laptops on by Thursday evening. Okay. This is what my contract. So what is the contract? Contract means you are making a long-term business with that particular supplier and with some terms and conditions. That is nothing but your contract. Okay. So now the first point is selection of the supplier, and second thing is you might need to go with a contract, depends upon the situation. Okay. Suppose you have acquired a space for lease. Okay, then there should be some lease agreement, right? Hyderabad, I don't have office. Let us say IBM don't have their own building in Hyderabad, and they want to take some space for lease, and they want to start their operations. So they need to create a contract with them, right? So this is nothing but a legal contract or lease contract, whatever it is. Similarly, there are a lot of things will come. Okay, and finally, as per the lease agreement, they keep the every month rent. They will pay the every month rent. This is what it happens. Okay, then we might need to come up with a contract. Against the contract, some transactions would happen. Okay, our payments or our orderings, all these things. Okay, so now the steps 2 and step 3 I just marked into a separate thing. Okay, and now we will see the portfolio of Ariba. Okay, so what Ariba would contain? If you see, this is the typical portfolio of Ariba. Ariba comes with mainly two things. One is the upstream, and second one is the downstream. Okay, so what do you mean by Ariba upstream? Ariba upstream means it has strategic module. It's a strategic module. Strategic module in the sense it's not your quick and operational thing. Okay, suppose if you want to buy a laptop, you take at least 1 week time. You won't buy like the way you are buying a pizza or burger, right? Because the budget is more, then you will spend some time, you will analyze what is your requirement, what is the durability, and all those things you analyze it. Okay, so here in the upstream, we come up with these modules: Ariba sourcing, Ariba contract management, and Ariba spend analysis, and Ariba supplier management. These are the four modules which are coming in the Ariba strategic sourcing or upstream. Okay, this we are calling it as upstream. So we will see what do you mean by Ariba sourcing, we will see what do you mean by Ariba contract management, and we will see what is Ariba spend analysis, we will see what is supplier management. So these are packed into upstream. And similarly, we have something called downstream. Downstream is nothing but your operational side, it's not strategic in nature. You are raising your requisitions, and then you are raising purchase orders on your suppliers, and you are receiving the goods, and you are receiving the invoice, and you are approving the invoices. This is nothing but your typical P2P cycle. Okay, so this we are seeing it in the downstream. So while you are creating your requisitions, what are the different channels are available, whether you are using a catalog or simply you are descriptive, you are typing your need, how it comes. Okay, what are all these things we will see in the downstream side. Okay, and there is something called Ariba supply chain collaboration. Okay, Ariba supply chain collaboration is something which would support your direct procurement. We will come and see that what is direct procurement. So now you would be seeing like this is our Ariba buyer spend management. In the buyer spend management side, you can see source to contract or upstream or strategic sourcing. These are the modules we have. We have the supplier management module, and we have Ariba sourcing module, contract management module, and spend management module. When you come to the procurement side, we are calling it as buying and invoice. We are calling it as a downstream also. Okay. In the buying and invoice side, we are seeing the typical day-to-day buying cycle: purchase requisition, purchase order, goods receipt, and invoice. Okay. These are the two things. So, and apart from that, okay, Ariba is a very strong tool which has a strong supplier base. That means there is something called Ariba network. Okay. Suppose if you are seeing Amazon, right? Amazon is kind of one thing. Suppose I am the buyer, I want to buy something, I want to buy my laptop. Then what I would do, I will search in Amazon. In Amazon, I will search for a laptop, then lot of suppliers would come. That means Amazon having a strong base of suppliers who are selling these products on the Amazon. Like that, for the corporate environment, we have Ariba network. Okay, so Ariba network in the sense, lot of suppliers will register into Ariba network, and they do their advertisements, whatever it is. Okay, that kind of stuff. Okay, so we will see the Ariba network functionality differently also. What is exactly Ariba network functionality and everything. Okay, so Ariba in the Ariba buyer spend side, buyer spend management side, we are having this upstream and downstream modules, and with the supply chain collaboration also. Okay, these are the different modules that Ariba has. Okay, this is the entire life cycle in Ariba, what we would be doing. Okay, so how you are doing your sourcing activity is nothing but your step 2, and how you are creating your contracts is nothing but your step 3. So you need a end of the day, you need a supplier. How you are managing the supplier life cycle, that is nothing but your supplier management. Okay, how you are registering your supplier, how the supplier will be evaluated, how you are qualifying your supplier, all these things we will see in the supplier management. Okay, and from 6 to 9, from steps 6 to 9, it's kind of your P2P, regular P2P process. Okay, you are releasing a purchase order. Okay, and then sorry, this is the 4. In this way it is constructed. The 4, like you are creating your purchase requisition, and then you are creating the purchase order on the basis of purchase requisition. Okay, and then you are receiving the um, goods from supplier, and then you are receiving the invoice from the supplier. Once it is done, then we are sending back to the ERP system to make the payment. This is what a typical P2P cycle. Okay, now, as I used the something called direct procurement, indirect procurement, right? I will come back to this slide little bit late. Now you can see the overall architecture of Ariba, how the Ariba looks like. So this is what your Ariba. Okay. So there is a Ariba network. This is a strong portal. Okay. This is from the buyer side. See, Ariba sourcing is the module, Ariba contracting is a module, Ariba supply chain collaboration is a module. I should have added Ariba buying and invoice also. Ariba buying and invoice is also a module. These modules we are calling it as Ariba spend management. The Ariba spend management will communicate through suppliers or backend ERP system, whatever it is, through Ariba network. So Ariba network is a some kind of a hub, we can say. Whatever the documents coming or going, everything will be routed through your Ariba network. So we will see at the time of integration. Okay, the suppliers, each supplier will have a own account, the way you are creating your Microsoft account. Okay, so whenever sending an email, you will receive your email, right? Similarly, suppliers also will create their own account in Ariba network, and they will publish or advertise whatever the goods they are selling in the Ariba network. So whenever the supplier buyer wants to buy, they can go for an open buy from the suppliers, or they can do their corporate way, corporate culture of doing the purchase requisition, purchase order. Then they will receive the purchase order through the network, and they will deliver the goods, and they will create the invoice through the Ariba network. And once it's like electronic, so all the documents, there is no physical document involvement, everything is electronic and against to a reference document. Suppose you are creating an invoice that is having a reference of purchase order, so everything is made in electronic wise, electronic digital mode. Okay, this is the beauty of Ariba. Okay, no need to send over. If you want to send the paper invoices, still you can send, but you can send your digital invoices, all these things it supports. Okay, so now coming to your direct procurement and indirect procurement, I will just make simple example. Suppose let us say your Tata Motors is the company and you are manufacturing your cars. End of the day, you are selling your product, the car. By sending the car, you are getting your revenue, right? Okay. So that means whatever the components are there in that car, suppose the tires or the steering or the brake wires or the seats or the body or the glasses, side mirrors, each and everything are going into a car, and you are selling that car, and then you are making your revenue. But if you see the tire company, it could be MRF or it could be Dunlop, right? That means the Tata company is not manufacturing the tire, right? So to make a car, I need five tires, one for Stephanie, four for my wheels. That means each product will have some, we are calling it as bill of materials. We are calling it as bill of materials. So that means how many number of components are going into the finished product. Let us say car is my finished product. So five wheels are going into my finished product. That means I need five quantity. Okay, suppose if I make 10 cars, 10 into 550, that is what my requirement. Okay, by selling these things, you are getting the revenue. That means car is your finished product, and whatever the materials are required to manufacture that car, we are calling those as the raw materials. Now tire is the raw material, we are simply calling it as steering as a raw material. Okay, so that means raw materials which are directly involved in your manufacturing, and by selling those, you are getting the revenue. Those type of materials, we are calling it as direct procurement. And you would be seeing inventorized materials or raw materials, all these words you will see in your classes, don't get worried. Indirect procurement in the sense which are not part of your finished products, but they are required to run your business. Suppose I want to assemble a car, I need gloves, right? Okay, I need some shampoo to clean my car. And similarly, I want to keep my workspace very clean. I want to have some cleaning, all the broomsticks, whatever it is, Lysol, whatever, all these things are needed. But they are not creating any revenue for me, but they are needed to run my show. These things of these type of procurement, we are calling it as indirect procurement. So indirect procurement is a type of consumption. That means you are consuming. That means once you procure it, their life cycle ends there itself. That means you consuming it. They won't go outside and they won't create revenue. Whereas for direct procurement, they are coming into your warehouse, they are coming into your premises, and then you are assembling into finished product and selling it out. That means they are creating revenue for you. Okay, those things we are calling it as direct procurement. Procurement of the supporting things, we are calling it as indirect procurement. Okay, the services is kind of indirect procurement. Okay, cleaning services is a kind of service procurement. I can say it's indirect procurement. Okay, so this is nothing but direct and indirect procurement. Basically, for direct procurement, you come up with a lot of planning strategies and planning and all. We use something called material requirement planning. We use something called material requirement planning. Okay, and through that you will create your requisitions. Okay, whereas indirect procurement, they simply come up with, today I want some 10 gloves, I will create and raise a requirement. Okay, then I don't need to do a great planning for it. It's just a indirect items they need for supportive things. Okay, and we have the indirect procurement also, even the small valued items also. Okay, so that is why we are calling it as indirect procurement. Okay, so that they won't, we won't inventorize in the sense we are not storing those items. Whereas for direct procurement, we invented those items. Okay, suppose I want to make 100 cars, I have to keep 100 into 5, 500 tires in my inventory. Okay, gloves I won't keep in my inventory. Okay, typically whenever the gloves comes, I will distribute to my employees and my employees will wear it, right? All these things. So this is what the difference between direct procurement and indirect procurement. So Ariba is kind of a standalone for indirect procurement. Okay, that is very popular in indirect procurement, where you can create your requisitions and create your purchase orders and all those things. But whereas for direct procurement, the planning is not available in Ariba. The planning is there in the ERP system. Like I am calling ERP means it's SAP, or it could be Oracle or whatever it is. You can integrate Ariba with any of the ERP system. So once the planning comes, there you are creating purchase requisitions, there you are creating your purchase orders. Okay, just one second. Okay, so here now I am just telling something called your ERP, and here is my Ariba system. Okay, this is what my Ariba system. As it's just shown like in P2P slide, this is your ERP system. Okay, ERP system will have all your core modules like MM, FI, finance. Okay, and then your warehouse or EWM, whatever it is, and then your SD module. Okay, and your HR module. All the core modules will be there in ERP system. Okay, so when you say like when there is a MM module already there, but why we are still using Ariba? Why can't we use only MM? See, whatever the things you are doing in Ariba, you can do in MM also. But the easiness of doing those functionalities with a simple, understandable, easy clicks UI. Okay, UI is very matters in SAP, right? The UI is bit difficult to understand unless you are well trained. Okay, you will have a lot of T codes. Even if you are using a Fury application also, you should know what is this and that, what to fill in this particular field, everything you should know. But whereas Ariba is kind of a guided. Okay, the user can simply fill, it's kind of a form. Okay, they simply understand by seeing the UI. And another thing is like lot of communication with the supplier, you can do digital mode in Ariba, whereas in ERP you cannot do that digital mode. Lot of things are required for that. Okay, so that is why Ariba is popular in the procurement side. Okay, and now in the P2P scenario, as I told, right, first the requisition is coming, and then the purchase order is created, and then supplier will deliver the goods, and then you are making the receipt, and then you are creating the invoice. The payment would not be done in Ariba, because Ariba is not a strong FI tool. Okay, the payment will be done in ERP system, because you will see the payment transaction, there is a budget constraints, all the everything, FI is a core, and all your payments will do. Okay, the bank and everything will be linked to here. You can done the APP run, automatic payment run, and everything. All these features are there in ERP. So end of the day, you are sending this information back to ERP. This is where the integration comes into picture. Okay, so for indirect procurement, right, you can start the process in the Ariba itself, the requisition, PO, GR, and invoice you are sending back to ERP system. Whereas for direct procurement, the requisition, PO, GR, everything happens over here only. Only thing is like the communication. So whatever the documents you are creating and the communication will be sent through your Ariba network to the supplier. This is what your supply chain collaboration. Okay. In case of direct procurement, we are calling it as a supply chain collaboration. Okay, so don't get worried, it's a demo session. Okay, I'm just trying to give and make you understand as much as possible what is the Ariba, what is Ariba capabilities and all. Okay, so now in the upstream, I told that there is something called sourcing. What do you mean by sourcing? Okay, how we are going to create the sourcing, what is the sourcing project, what we actually do in the sourcing as an end user, as a Ariba consultant, what you would be doing. Okay, as an end user, you are creating sourcing projects and you are conducting sourcing events. What are the different types of sourcing events? What is RFI? What is RFP? What is auction? Okay, so once you created the sourcing event, then how you are monitoring those sourcing event. Okay, how you are communicating with your suppliers, asking them to respond to a sourcing event. Okay, so once the sourcing event is completed, then how you are selecting your supplier, then how you are finalizing it, then how you are awarding this particular sourcing event to your supplier. All these things we will see in your on our sourcing cycle. We will see end-to-end process of the sourcing as end user, and as well as being Ariba consultant, what are the settings or things you need to do, what is need by, what do you mean by template configuration. Okay, upstream, all the upstreams are involved with template configurations. We will see the detailed template configurations, and apart from that we see what is a sourcing library, and how we are, what is the purpose of sourcing library, what is the template, what is the template management, how you are going to create the templates. All these things we will see in the upstream side. So sourcing module we will cover end to end in our course, including the template management. And similarly, Ariba contracts. So what are the different types of contract? What is a contract life cycle? Okay, so who can request the contract? Okay, after contract is request, how the end users are going to collect the documents and creating the contract agreement, how it is sent for approvals, how it is being negotiated online with supplier itself. Okay, hey, this clause is not matching with our company terms, you can change this clause, or you can add a new clause, or you can remove a clause. What do you mean by clauses? All these things we will see. And how you are making the signature of the contract once the date, once the contract is finalized. Okay, how it is being signatured, how you are going to use electronic signature, what is the configuration need to be done for electronic signature. Okay, and what is the contract life cycle after contract is published, how you are going to create your amendments. Okay, and then we will see something called contract complaints. Contract complaints is the linkage between your upstream and downstream. Okay, so we will see what is a contract compliance. Okay, and we will see what do we mean by clause libraries, and we will see everything in the contract life cycle. Again, for the contracts also we have the template configurations. What is a template, everything we will see. Okay, and after that we have the, this is again the contract life cycle. We have the Ariba supplier life cycle management. So Ariba supplier lifecycle management comes with two things. One is the supplier lifecycle, another one is supplier risk. Okay, supplier risk we will see bit kind of theoretically. Anyways, we can see it also. Okay, what are the different types of risk segmentation? How do you score it? How do you make some suppliers at risk, like in the dashboard, make them visible as red and all those things. And what is the Ariba supplier lifecycle? Who is requesting the supplier to be created, how you are asking the supplier to register to your company, or the supplier is coming themselves, they want to make registration with your company, or you are inviting them for registration. And after that, how you are qualifying the supplier, what kind of questions you would be asking the supplier. All these things we will see in the supplier life cycle. And then we will see the segmentation. So whether this supplier is preferred to buy for particular commodities, for few commodities this supplier is preferred supplier, then how you are making it out. So then once you are not happy with the supplier, how you can disqualify him or phase out of the supplier. This everything we will see in our Ariba SLP, Ariba supplier life cycle. Okay, and then spend analytics we will see theoretically only. So what is the spend analytics module, what is it contains, what activities we can do. All these things we can see theoretically because the system is not available. Okay, so these are all your upstream things. And coming to your downstream, buying and invoicing, we will see what is buying and invoice module, what are the activities. We will see from P2P cycle completely. And being a Ariba consultant, what activities you are supposed to do, and what do you mean by guided buying. Okay, so guided buying is just a UI point of view, and it has come up with some features. Okay, we will explain. And then another important thing is catalogs, how you are going to manage the catalogs, how you are importing the catalogs into your Ariba solution, how you are managing with the catalogs. And then your invoicing module. Okay, what do you mean by invoice document, what do you mean by reconciliation document, what do you mean by okay to pay file. Okay, all these things we will see in your Ariba buying. And apart from that, in our class we will see the approval rules also. Okay, suppose you are creating a purchase requisition, how you can create a approval flow, who are supposed to approve it as per your business requirement, how you are going to create the approval flows, all these things we will see. Okay, and the next thing is, this is the complete P2P cycle. Okay, from sourcing to payment. Okay, um, this is the total architecture, how the transactions would integrate with SAP and Ariba. We will see in the integration. So integration, we cannot see the complete blown because we don't have the integration. CAG is not there. I am explaining you the what is CAG. So I will show on some other system how the projects can be configured, what are all the activities will be do, how to monitor these documents if these are failed or these are successfully sent. What is the document cycle? Okay, the process flow of the documents. If you see here, how the master data is being integrated with your ERP system and SAP Ariba, how the transaction documents in the sense purchase requisitions, POs, invoice, goods receipt, all these things, how these are integrated with your ERP system to Ariba system. Okay, to do your transactional, we should need the master data. So what are different master data elements, material master elements, or your commodity codes, or your supplier data, or the users, all these things, how you are bringing into Ariba. Okay, if it is not integration, how you are going to load this data into the site, all these things we will be seeing. Okay, the complete integration. So what are the different integration points, which are the documents you can integrate between Ariba and ERP system. All these things we will see in detail, but hands-on would not be there. That is the only caveat I just want to mention. And then Ariba supply chain collaboration, I will explain theoretically because the people who doesn't know Ariba MM, we should need a strong integrated system between Ariba and SAP MM with CAG. Otherwise, we cannot demonstrate the processes. But I will try to explain how the process goes. Okay, the process flow diagrams I will try to explain in the Ariba supply chain collaboration. And then we will see the complete integration. Okay, how the integration architecture would be there, what kind of documents, through which mode the documents would communicate, all these things, and we will explain the cloud integration gateway as well. Okay, this is the complete course that we would be discussing, and I just explained what is a Ariba and what kind of Ariba is. Okay, what is the ERP tool, and where Ariba lies in the ERP world. Okay, it's a kind of procurement tool. What you would be doing in Ariba, I just given a glance of it, upstream, downstream, and then how the integrations will be made, and what is the uh, importance of Ariba network. Everything we will see in our day-to-day classes. Okay, so I just open the door for your questions. So you might have a lot of questions to ask. So what, you have any pre questions? What is your target of this training? Okay, we can discuss now. I think someone joined called Saurabh. Aman Saurabh. Okay. Any questions?
Hi, Ashok.
Yeah.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes, yes, I can hear you pretty well, Banu.
You told that in integration part, you are not going to show CAG. In which system are you showing?
No, no, I will be showing the CIG, but you don't get hands-on. That means there is no system availability for your hands-on practice.
Okay. You are going to explain in only SAP system for integration, right?
Now, CIG basically lot of the things, because I don't have other than SAP, right? But I will explain you how the methodology and how the roadmap to do with the other third party tools apart from SAP.
Okay. Are you going to explain with the theoretical way, or how you are going to explain with the
See, CIG I can show on my system, okay, but
and
other things, right? Other with non SAP system, I will show you the roadmap. I will take some aids, maybe through some videos or through some documentations, and will help you.
one more thing, are you are going to explain from upstream to downstream, or downstream to upstream?
Upstream to downstream. So my process is from upstream to downstream.
Okay, thank you.
So the course duration would be 40 to 50 days. Okay, 40 to 50 hours, I can say. Okay. So I will go in a proper strategic way, because everyone should understand from the beginning to ending. That is why I go from the upstream sourcing process, and then we'll cover the contracts, and then SLP, and then I'll start the P2P process. Like that, I will go. Suppose if you already know the upstream, then if you can wait, because if I directly start the P2P, right, people may not understand it properly for other persons.
No, I just agree with that. I just asked a query.
Mm, mm. Thanks for understanding. Okay. Any other questions? What is your target of the training? May I ask that question? So you might be switching for the job. That is your main target, right? If I assume, and maybe you can gain more knowledge. Suppose somebody is working on Ariba, they want to gain more knowledge on other modules. So suppose if you're trying looking for a switch to job, then we are ensuring and assuring that you will be getting. So whatever the classes I am telling, if you follow them correctly, and whatever the assignments I am telling, if you practice them correctly, then you can sell yourself as at least 3 to 4 years SAP Ariba consultant. Okay. And we will help you out with the project methodologies as well, how the agile project would work, and what are the activities you are supposed to do during the implementation project. And we'll help you on the interviews also. Interviews helping in the sense, I will be